We Are Spirits in This Material World by Cherokee Billie. Most people do not think about the fact that our bodies are just a vehicle for our real self, which is a spirit. We are attached to this third dimension, which is material, and we forget that there are other dimensions and facets to life. Because we are spirits, we are far more than just our bodies in this world. We focus on what our body needs and wants and forget that there's something else going on inside. Our spirits need attention and love every day. Do you feed yourself every day? Do you take a bath or shower every day? If so, then you need to start thinking about feeding and cleansing your spirit. It's so critical to realize you are inside of a vehicle, and the spiritual side needs to be nourished, cleansed, and loved. And many people do not really love themselves, and they are just looking for love in every face that they see. Real love is within us, and it takes some work on our part to find the source of love inside of us. When we die, we discard this body and we become a spirit. Death is the birth of your soul. In the spirit world there are no genders such as male and female. We are pure energy, light, and love. We can take on the semblance of who we were in life, or even someone or something else. It is quite unlimited. I have had people ask if it is a sin to be gay. I reiterate that we are as one in spirit, and there is no male or female. Surprisingly, God does not judge our sexual selves. In spirit, the biggest judge of us will be ourselves. We will have time to review what we have done, good or bad, and be able to work on bettering our spirit. If you are gay, please do not be concerned that you will be condemned to hell. Continue to develop your spiritual self, help others, and live in love as much as possible. That is all that is required of any person, no matter what their sexual orientation, race, social status, or religion. This attitude of condemnation comes from religious teachings and not from a spiritual truth. What is taught in books is not necessarily spiritual truth. The true essence of God is love. If you believe that God is love, how could you believe that He would condemn anyone? The true judgment on the other side comes from ourselves as we view what we did in this life. It is important to develop a spiritual life here, as this is going to benefit you after this life. The spiritual life develops in our worship and praise of the Divine Spirit, God, or whatever you may call the entity. In the spirit world we continue to grow and develop, and we will still have free will even there. We are not sitting on pink clouds playing harps. Developing our talents and interests are foremost as we progress in the spirit world. We're helping others in the spirit world and helping those back in this dimension develop their soul. We work as a unit for the good of all. Spirits often continue the occupations and interests they had on earth. If the work on earth was not right for them, they can change what they do according to their real talents and interests. All work is done in the spirit of love. Once I was in a meditation, and I contemplated what life would be like without God. Suddenly I felt such an emptiness and coldness envelop me. This is what it feels like without a God. It became very clear to me in this meditation that God is the light and the love that keeps the universe functioning. No one can fully grasp what God truly is, but I know what the feeling is without God. I frequently visit the spirit world during astral projections and have seen different areas of spirit. There are wonderful places to visit and see. There are also areas that are not filled with the light, and those who cannot move out of the darkness stay in this area until they can accept change, love, and light. Believe it or not, there are souls that do not want the light. There are souls that are lonely and lost in the spirit world, and cannot take the full impact of love and light from the divine source. A client contacted me to channel the spirit of a young man, 25 years old, who committed suicide. I have done hundreds of channelings, but never for a suicide. I was able to reach this young man, and I found him hiding in spirit because he was afraid of all the changes around him and the spiritual beings that were trying to help him. He communicated with me, and he said that he was frightened. I am sure that this was because he was not prepared for life in spirit, and he went before he had the knowledge that would have made it an easier transition. This conversation ended up being between me and him rather than the client. It did not matter that the spirits were loving and trying to help him. He needed contact with the human in the third dimension, which turned out to be me. Interestingly, as I was talking with him, a young man named Aaron that I had channeled before, who had been a murder victim, appeared, and he took this young man away, and they sat down, and I could see that he was comforting and helping this young man understand where he was. Aaron gave me a nod as though everything was going to be okay, and I left at that point. Now you can see the importance of preparing yourself for life after death. How do you do this? It's really not too complicated. Pray. Give thanks to the Creator, God, the Divine Spirit. Quiet your mind through meditation. Trust whatever you feel or see. The message is different for each person. Live a life filled with compassion and kindness. Trust that everything will work out for the best good in your life. Now you can go forward in this material world and not feel so overwhelmed. From the moment we are born, we are preparing for our life in spirit. Please do not go without being at peace within. True happiness always lies within you. You just have to find it. Thank you for listening. This is Cherokee Billie.